Okay, so we're good. So how are you?
Pretty good.
How do you pronounce your name? Just so I can make sure that I'm saying it correctly.
Yeah, it's Jag Veer, but you can just call me Jag.
Jag, like
Jag,
Jaguar?
yeah. Like Jaguar, yeah.
Nice, nice. Hey, Jaguar, Jaguar, Jag. I'm glad that you found my channel, and I hope that I can be of help.
Sure.
I know that you mentioned in your email that you have two gas stations, so I don't know if you want to tell me a little bit about yourself just to before we begin.
Yeah, I'll give you a backstory on our business. So my dad, he first immigrated to America in like 1990. Shortly after he got into the gas station business. So he's been working at the same gas station since 1992. Eventually he started as a worker there, but then the owner leased it out to him. So in that gas station, we have like literally no overhead. We pay 4,000 a month. Runs really well. We do check cashing there, everything like that. In 2017, then we bought like 3 acres of land. We built a gas station on like 1.3 acres. We sold the rest, and we opened that gas station in 2021. So we own one
Nice.
gas station, and then one of them we're leasing. But I mean, the main issue we've always had is just employees. So the gas station my dad works at, the one that we're leasing out, he used to work there. He used to be full time because it's check cashing. There's a lot of cash involved. We don't really want to trust. I mean, we can't really trust a lot of our employees. Like I think till this day, our biggest, I mean, the biggest thieves in our stores are actually the employees. Like we lose a lot of money from them stealing our cash or the lotto. So he's been working there, but recently he had heart surgery. So now we really need to like figure out, okay, how can we get really good employees at that store, but also the new gas station we have as well. That way I can also, step out of the business and focus on other, aspects of my life.
Okay, and you mentioned that the first store, the one that you're leasing, your dad was the one that was operating it.
Basically, yeah, he was the one who's operating it full time. We had one employee with him, and he was there from 6 in the morning to 11, and we just handed over to our other employee. But now we hired somebody else, and at the moment they're stealing lotto like $20 a day. But we just have to eat up the loss because like we can't find anyone else. I mean, she's trustworthy enough to not steal the cash. That's the main thing. So we're okay with her stealing like $20 a day as opposed to like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's the hard part of owning the business, and I mean that's the unsexy part of it. That it's very easy and simple to steal,
Right.
and you gotta build very very good and tight systems to make it harder for them to steal. The lotto is honestly it's a whole mess. It's a whole monster by itself. The lotto, it's like if you're running a separate business, just the lottery.
For sure.
Um, and I mean, we can go into a little bit more into the lotto. The things that I've used to avoid that, and I hold my employees responsible. If because we do money transfers. I don't know if you guys do money transfers too.
We do, yeah.
Yeah, the whole money transfers and check cashing is another monster. It's a store, and then the lotteries it's a whole mess, and then the check cashing and the money transfer it's another mess. I mean, they're good money makers. Not I mean not the lottery. The lottery, as you know, it's just the hook to bring people in. The financial services. I don't know how much you guys are making per month on the financial services.
Financial, I mean, we use, I guess, Western Union for the money transfers. We don't really do much of that. Just the check cashing, we do pretty good on. We charge like 1.5%, which is like pretty average. That we do really good on just because my dad, he's been there for so long. So we built up a very nice clientele. And everyone that brings in checks, we know, we trust. Like we've built a really nice community around that store. So I mean, that's kind of our main money maker there. It's just the check cashing, really. Like that's pretty much it, just check cashing.
And you're making 1.5%, and then it's 50-50 with the Western Union, or how does it work?
Oh, for the check cashing? Check
Yes.
cashing, it comes all to us. The
Nice.
Western Union, I mean, that's the money transfers. I don't really know much of just because we really don't mess with that like anymore. We just do check cashing, so that comes all to us. Just because I mean, we're the ones who put up the cash. Like it's our cash that we use for the check cashing, so we make all the money off of that. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Run me through the process right now. Your dad was running the first store. He got sick, unfortunately, and right now he's basically not working right now, or working a little bit less.
Yeah, he's working a lot less. He had his surgery on February 2nd. He just got back to like working like last month, so in March. But I mean, he really can't do what he used to do. He used to work like 14, 15 hours a day. He's a hard worker. He's been doing this for like 30 years. I mean, he loves what he does, but it's just now he's at that age where like it's time for me to take over. So I'm the young one. I'm 23. I have an older brother. He's 36, but he has a family and everything. So everything's coming onto me, like all the responsibilities. So just trying to manage all of it's pretty hard, especially the whole employee situation. That's very difficult. But
Yes.
yeah, he used to open the stores in the morning and just come back for lunch and everything. And then me and him will go to the other store. But I manage the other store, the new store. I manage that one completely. That's all me.
Okay. And the second, which one of the two are the ones you having the problem with the employees on both, or
Yeah, so I would say both. It's two different issues. One of the issues with the new store is just like find like just employee turnover, to be honest. Like we are running through employees like every 4 or 5 months we gotta hire someone new. Over there we have a total of two employees, and then we have one who like is kind of like a family friend, so he just steps in whenever we need help. The morning guy, he's supposed to be there from 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. And then we have somebody else from 2 p.m. to 11. So it's like, I mean, I don't think we should really be having two employees. I mean, the store, we generate around $3.5 million in sales a year. And that store, I mean, that's obviously not all profits, like, but still, I mean, that's pretty good. And then we have two tenants. We have a smoke shop and a dry cleaner. So that's also giving us $4,500 a month each. So I mean, we have some room to work with. We can hire more employees, but obviously my dad, he's very hesitant on spending more on the employees. But it's just anytime there's a problem, I have to step in. I have to go on, stand on the register. So I'm just trying to figure out how I can, have a better system of hiring employees, like where to find employees and stuff like that as well.
yeah. I think the main issue, or not the main issue, but one of the issues that I'm seeing, Jack, is I think breaking, and I don't know if that's a correct word, but breaking your dad's mentality, because you're coming with a totally different mindset. I mean, I see you're young. I don't think you want to be in the prison, because a convenience store or a gas station, it can be a prison. You mentioned, I mean, basically your dad spent, I mean, a good portion of his life inside the store, and for me, I don't know about you, right? But for me, a true business is a business that is generating and is not robbing you from all your time. So, I think that's one of the main issues, that your dad is trying to keep it minimal, and I understand where he's coming from, right? Because employees are our biggest expense.
For sure.
So, but I think we need to break that mentality and invest more in a team,
Mhm.
make it more family oriented. That you're building a team, and not see them as basically as replaceable, or they're just covering me for a little bit, and I'm gonna go back. No, you have to see them as they're gonna grow roots here. We're gonna train you. Our plan is to acquire more gas stations. Maybe one day you're gonna run one of the stores.
Mhm.
Maybe one day you're gonna be general manager for all my stores. I think it's a very different mentality, from you and your dad, right? Am I correct, or?
No, for sure. I mean, he's very, I say he's very old school, like on everything he does. Like, one of the stores, he still uses like a yellow paper to track all of his expenses. I mean, I like implemented softwares to track everything so we don't have to do all that. But he's very stuck in his old ways. So
Yeah.
just getting him to, I guess, see how I'm seeing things is like the biggest issue.
And it doesn't make us smarter than him.
No, for sure.
Apparently, what he did works. I mean, you guys are very successful. So what he did works. We're not here bashing him or criticizing him. It's
Mhm.
just a different mentality, and I think you want something different out of life than. I don't think you see yourself. It's like, in one of my videos, I said that I did my bachelor's in teaching education, and
Mhm.
on my last block of the 4 years, I went to the school, and the teacher probably told me, that the one that was basically coaching me. She told me, very proudly, I've been here for 35 years in this classroom, and I saw the blocks, the cinder blocks, and I saw it as a cage. And she said it proudly, and I mean, I wasn't buying that ticket. I was like, oh, I don't want to be here for 35 years, and I think. I don't think you see yourself there in the store for 35 years. That's why the only way out of it is building a team, and you're taking the right step into looking on how to grow your team, right? How to grow your team.
Hmm.
But what are the main issues of why people are leaving, in your opinion?
I think it's because of honestly probably how much we pay them. I feel like that's kind of where me and my dad are also indifferent. So I'm gonna be honest, we start our cashiers around $12 an hour. And I keep telling my dad, like, hey, I think for $12 an hour, it's just too much responsibility because not only are they like on the cash register, they also have to check like what the vendors are bringing in. They have to sign our checks. They're also restocking. And again, there's only one of them at a time. So there's one employee at like 6 in the morning till 2. So he has to basically take care of the entire store, sign the checks for the vendors, everything. So I think that might be the main issue. They're probably just getting burnt out, and I'm just trying to find a way that maybe we can have maybe two employees working at one shift. That way one can focus on the vendors and like restock while one of them is on the register. I mean, I think that's my solution, but I also wanted to get your opinion on like whether it maybe if I were to pay them more, if that would help, or how you approach it.
I mean, honestly, it's difficult to judge if the pay is good
Hmm.
because $12 is excellent for Laredo, but I'm five
For
hours away.
Houston, yeah,
Yeah, it's a different market.
right.
So what I would do is check what others are paying. How much is their competition paying? And not only gas stations, but small convenience stores. Don't compare yourself with HEB and Walmart
Yeah.
because I mean they're monsters. We don't sell as much as they do, so I don't even compare them. I'm after a different market, right? After a different market of employees. So restaurants, what's your typical restaurant paying? The diners, the starter jobs, right? And also, you have to see what type of employees are you hiring because maybe you're hiring the wrong type of employee and that's why they're leaving. And it's not because of your pay or you're doing anything wrong. It's because you're hiring maybe the incorrect person.
Hmm.
Uh, for example, I mean, if you hire a 19-year-old that's going to college, I mean, you already know that if they get finals and they're and I mean, you have your degree too. You know that it's hard. You know they're gonna quit or they're gonna find a better job so. You gotta see also who you're hiring. For me, I mean, based in Laredo, $12 is good pay.
Okay.
Yeah, for me in Laredo, but I don't know the market in Houston. I mean, and I'm not gonna pretend that I know it because I don't.
Hmm.
Um, so your best thing would be to compare yourself with other gas stations, small convenience stores, even McDonald's. What is a McDonald's in the area? What are they starting at? Are they starting at $8, $9, $10, or they're starting at $15 an hour? That can paint you the picture. Uh, Another thing is, have you ran the store by yourself? Is it very hectic? Is it a lot to juggle?
For sure. I mean, especially around like 12 p.m., like lunch rush, we have a deli inside. So the deli gets very busy. And it's very hard to like see what people are doing. Like if they're on one side of the store and then you have like people in front of you. That's when like a lot of our theft happens. When I check the cameras, it's around that time. So I don't really expect our employees to be looking everywhere like that. It's just so much going on. It's very hectic. So yeah, I mean, I've ran the store for a long time. Like whenever I was 18 or 17 is when we opened the store. So since then, I've been basically running it, and I've been the one to find the employees for the most part. The few employees that we have one good employee right now. He's been with us since 2022, and he's not planning to leave, but I still need somebody in the morning that can like handle that like rush. Because right now the guy that I have, he's done. Like he's burnt out. He doesn't want to come at 6 in the morning. He comes late now, so I can tell he's changed.
And since you guys only have one or two employees, are they
Mhm.
working every day?
Yeah, every day, and that's the issue too, right? So like if one of them gets sick, then I have to come in and take over the shift, or we call one of our family friends, they'll come in. And I mean, that's the issue. It's just like if anything happens, they have to fall back on me.
The thing is, Jack, I think either you or your dad, you guys are still trying to run the business as a little family store and not as an actual business.
Hmm.
Um you guys sell a lot more than I do. We sell about $1 billion a year in our store. I mean, we're inside a neighborhood. We don't have a gas station, so it's very different. But
Hmm.
even even with $1 million in sales, we have between 6 and 7 employees.
Yeah, I
So
saw that. Yeah.
why? Because I think your dad is expecting the employees to work as hard as he did. He gave his all because that's his legacy. It's not the legacy of your employees. Your employees, I mean, they're just there to collect the check. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, and that's why we all work, right? I mean, we're after money, right? And they want to feel productive too. But the main drive for them is their check. But you're all expecting them to forget about their family and I'm not saying your dad did, but I mean he probably missed a lot of your games and a lot of stuff because he was so invested in the business, a lot of sacrifices, and he now expects the employees to work with that dedication, and it's never going to happen. Honestly, it's never going to happen. With the volume of sales, you definitely need uh, I would say at least 5 employees, honestly.
Five.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, at least 5 employees. I mean, we can get into the details on what is gas station, what is inside sales, because it matters a lot on the profits, right? And
Hmm.
what is lottery, what is gas stations, fuel. So we can determine what is your true gross profit, right? And then
Yep.
we can figure out how many employees you can have. But you guys are trying to squeeze like every little single drop from that business, and I think it, you end up losing more because of people stealing, having to rehire again another person and train them, and while you're training them you have to have two people because who's going to train him, so you have to pay double in the training. So and then one person trying to talk to the vendor, and somebody else over there is putting something in their pocket.
Yeah.
It's too much to juggle, and uh, I mean, uh, people are not gonna last. I mean, you probably lasted because it's your dad, it's your family, but somebody else. You can probably pay them $20 an hour, and they're still gonna fly, man.
Hmm.
And I think, honestly, I don't think it's the pay. I think it's mainly because they 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 cannot have a family. Their priority seems it has to be the store because they cannot have a day off. So I always try to make the schedule and think of them. Try to give them 2 days off, either 1 or 2 days. It depends on the person, right? But even if the person tells me, "Hey, I'm after money. I want to work 7 days a week," I don't even count them as 7 days because I know things are gonna happen. They need a day off. They're gonna get sick. Um, so I always try to schedule between 5 and 6 days a week, and um, I try to schedule them that way. I don't have to go in. Either me or my wife. I mean, we don't work at all at the store,
Oh.
and I mean, it's ridiculous because we make so much less than you guys, and we don't work at the store. I mean, we still pay ourselves a good salary every week. But I think that's the main issue, that you guys need to you guys need to hire more people, divide roles a little bit more, divide
Hmm.
roles. You mentioned that you guys have a deli inside the store.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so basically, if somebody is paying for a soda and fuel, and then there's somebody in the line waiting at the deli, and they have to go run and put on their gloves and then serve them the.
Oh yeah, so the deli is completely outsourced. Like we have like it's a restaurant. His name is Mike. So basically
Okay,
Mike, like he runs the deli himself, and then whenever somebody like gets their food, they get a ticket, they bring the ticket to the register, and then our cashier rings them up. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's how it
So
works.
so the deli is not rented out. It's your employee.
Mike, yeah, well, Mike is renting out the deli. I guess Mike is renting out the kitchen, so we get 27% of whatever, he sells, and that's yeah. We don't have to run the deli or anything like that's completely different from us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's basically a tenant,
Yeah,
and you guys get a percentage of the sales.
exactly. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I think I mean from what I'm seeing, I think that's the main issue. Basically, the mentality. Basically, changing your mentality and thinking of this as a business.
Hmm.
How how can I make this operation so that it runs on its own?
So
So
yep.
so that it runs on its own. So that if I leave to Africa or to India or to China for a month, it can continue running. And it's probably not gonna run as perfect as when you're there, but it should still continue running. Uh, because right now the way you're running it, I mean, you basically cannot leave. Right, you have to be babysitting every day, babysitting every day, and the way we're running the things, the store, is, I mean, we have a WhatsApp group. We have all the employees there on the WhatsApp group. I actually have three groups. Uh, One of them is for the convenience store, for the cashiers. Another one is for the whole team, which is, we have a carniceria, a meat market inside the store.
Hmm.
So on one of them is the whole team, the whole crew. And then we have another one for the whenever tenants go and pay rent, for the real estate business, they send all the receipts there, on that group. So uh, the way we're looking for people, that we're recruiting, I mean, we don't do anything fancy. It's either word of mouth, Facebook, a Facebook post, or
Hmm.
we'll just post a sign there in the store. We don't do like anything professional, like Indeed or anything,
Okay.
Recruiter or anything. Yeah, we keep it very simple. Uh, we try to we try to talk to the employees a lot. We try to talk to the employees a lot. For us, the customer is not always right. For me, whomever is right is right.
Yeah.
Sometimes the employee is right. Sometimes the customer is right. So I don't share that mentality that the customer is always right. Uh, we try to give them little perks, like we give them like a 10% discount in the store, which excludes like lottery and tobacco, because we don't make a profit on that, so we
Hmm.
exclude that. But in all the other things, they get like a 10% discount. um, After a year, we give them 1 year vacation, 1 week vacation. After 3 years, we give them 2 week vacation. So it's a little retention helper
It's
to.
actually no, it's good.
Yeah, so I mean, if we have employees that are with us for 4 years, 5 years, and they think about it twice, because I mean, 2 weeks may not sound like a lot, but it helps them. 2 weeks extra pay without doing anything, it helps them. So it helps you retain employees. Also, about twice a year, we close the store early, and we take them out, to the bowling, or for a dinner. Um, There, I sit down with them. I tell them, hey, this is how we do. This is how we're doing. I actually share numbers with them. I share numbers, with them, and I ask them, hey, what do you guys think that we're doing wrong? Where can we improve? I may sound smart, but they're actually smarter than me, because they're the ones that are there every day.
Every day, yeah.
They're, I learn from them. They're the ones every day. They're the ones that say, hey, all the customers are complaining about this, or all the customers keep asking, when are we gonna sell this item? And they're the ones, shaping the store, basically the employees. So we try to talk to them. I mean, we don't go every week, like I mentioned. We probably go like maybe, I mean, sometimes it's weeks, and we won't go to a store, but everything flows through the WhatsApp group. Like,
Hmm.
every time they pay a vendor, they send the picture through the WhatsApp. So we stay on top of what's happening. We have access to check the sales at our house, so we check the sales, and the back office basically.
Hmm.
Excuse me. But I think those are the things that have helped us retain the employees, making them feel important, and not expecting them to carry the weight as we did when we started. Because when we started, my wife was working 8 to 5, and I was working five to close every day, no days off. On Sunday, I was working from opening to close.
Yeah.
Um, it was a hustle. It was very, very hard. And I don't expect them to not even do half of what we did. Because why? Because they're not invested in the company.
Hmm.
They for them it's just a job. And I always remember, and I always have to remind myself that they have a life, a part of what they have with me. They have a life, and that they're gonna have a party, and that they're gonna have get-togethers, that they're gonna get sick. That so I try to also give them a fixed schedule. I've heard other places that every week they keep changing the schedule. I don't know why. I mean, they keep changing it every week. And for us, I give them a set schedule, and that's a schedule that they work. And they already know. Oh, I can, if I have a doctor's appointment, I can plan it for Wednesdays because I'm off on Wednesdays and Thursdays, or whatever, right? They can plan ahead, and they're not anxious about oh, what's gonna happen. They already know every. I mean, we pay every Saturday. Every Saturday they're gonna have their check. Um, that they can plan ahead. That these are their days off. If and I always tell them, if you need a day off, you can talk to your coworker, and if he covers you, I don't even have to know.
Yeah.
So sometimes they do that. They have a baby shower or something coming up. They'll swap, and then they'll repay each other with another day off, or whatever. They'll cover for each other. So basically, um, building a team. I think that's the most important, and I think right now that's your guys are that's the bottleneck
For
for
sure.
you guys. That's the bottleneck, and I think when you're in the mud, in the trenches, you cannot think bigger, because you're working in the little minute details, and oh, I have to go cover for this employee, and I have to go to this vendor and pick up some merchandise, and I try not to do anything. And a lot of people criticize me. A lot of my friends, a lot of family criticize me. There's a saying in Spanish that says, if you want a tienda, que la tienda, which means if you want a store, it doesn't rhyme in English, but in Spanish it rhymes. If you want a
Mhm.
store, you should operate it yourself. Uh, and I don't like that mentality, because then then I mean, we're both professionals. Then we would get a job, and I mean, we can go make six figures in a job, and why am I gonna be working as an employee? Uh, I always think this of myself. I mean, why am I gonna be there working as a cashier if I can substitute it and pay somebody $12? Why am I gonna pay myself $12 an hour? And it doesn't make sense. And um, I, I don't know what your thoughts are, Jack, about those comments.
Yeah, I mean, no, I definitely agree. I think another issue is like what responsibilities should each, I guess, employee have that way. Like for instance, like so we have ATM inside our store. So I'm thinking like I have to be there every day, to put money in the ATM. Well, how can I have it like, and who can I give that responsibility to? Like would I have to like have like a manager and then like employees, or like how can I structure the business in a way where like those types of like big things like safe drops, taking out the safe drops, putting in the office, putting money in the ATM, who can I give that responsibility to? Like I have somebody who I can give it to, but I would most likely have to hire somebody else to take over his position. So like just a regular cashier, and then he can be the one who just manages the entire operations.
Yeah. The way we run it, we don't have a manager, at least not by title,
Okay.
but we do have a person that's basically the one that has more control over the finances.
Mhm.
They're the ones. We have a person working in the back office. She goes, sits down, counts money, the money transfers, the check cashing. reconciles everything. So we do have one person basically. I don't know if you want to call her like back office employee.
Mm.
She does cover some shifts in the front too, but she's basically more back office. Uh, she helps me sometimes do the schedules and I mean, in theory, she could be called the manager, but for me, for a small store, it's hard to have a manager because sometimes in business, like in McDonald's, a manager basically doesn't do anything. They're just overseeing. They help here and there, but they're not doing anything, and they have like a lot of staff around them. Here in our store and in your business, you're not gonna have like a manager, like a pretty manager, and just sit back. No, it's gonna be somebody that's gonna wear several hats. They're gonna be charging customers. They're gonna be doing the reconciliation in the back. So. Uh, yes, a trustworthy person should have more privileges and more access than the rest,
Hmm.
and uh, that way you keep things controlled and theft controlled, and that way you don't have to be going to a store every day. Somebody that's mature, somebody that has a family that has their roots in Houston, that's not passing just by and you don't know anything about them and they can take the money and leave. Somebody that you feel that can handle the responsibility of refilling the ATM, of reconciliating the money transfer, the check cashing, because I mean, I know you guys handle a lot of money, and we do too, especially the money transfer and the check cashing. A lot of money gets handled. I'm surprised you guys are not growing the money transfers business. It's a very good business. You guys should look more into it because that same money gets recycled for the check cashing. That way, you don't have to be using uh, all your money. And Houston, I mean, it's a big demographics of immigrants. So
For sure. Yeah.
I'm sure you can grow it. I can give you some other contacts of other money transfer companies that we're using that should also be in your area. That
Yeah.
way you can look into it. Uh, right now you're using Western Union, but Orlandi Valuta or Western Union.
Just Western Union.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. And then I mean, I guess for that store, to be honest, it actually has slowed down significantly. Like a lot of our clients, I guess, I mean, to be honest, they've gotten deported. They've left the country and everything. So we're making basically like literally less than half of what we used to make a few years ago, just because everyone has just left. So right now, just
On the
because
check cashing.
check cashing, everything, the sales of the store, they've dropped significantly. And just because that store is leased out, we don't really make that a priority just because we know like one day eventually they might take it back from us. That store's been built like it was built in like in the 70s. Like it's a low ceiling, one of those types of stores. So right now, like we're just trying to focus on building up the new store, the one that we actually own. And eventually we might just give away the lease store back to the owner. But yeah, no, I can definitely talk up to my dad about, the money transfer and see if that's a good move for us.
Yeah, because for the money transfers, I mean, you basically get 50% of the commission. So most money transfers are $10.
Yep.
So from $10 you get $5, and all you did was take their money basically because I mean you're not investing anything, and then that same money, like for example with a company Intermex that we work for, Intermex, somebody comes in and does a money transfers for $1,000. We have the money there, and then somebody else comes in, cashes the check, and we use that same money to pay them
I
to
see.
cash in the check.
Okay.
So we make $5 from the money transfers, and then we make, let's say, $20. We charge around 2%. So let's say we charge $20 for the check, and with Intermex we get to keep 100% of the check cashing fee. So we make $5 and then $25 in two transactions without putting our money, and and I mean I don't mind putting our money because you guys are making a quick 1.5% in every transaction, but uh, I mean it's always better to use other people's money, and your money you can maybe pour it into other gas stations or more real estate.
I agree. Yeah, and that's the issue. Is just like my dad and I, or we just don't have any additional time to like look at other things to do, like real estate. We're just so sucked into like the gas stations, and if sometimes we have good months where we can focus on other stuff, but then we just get sucked right back in. Like that's been the issue, especially for me.
How are you guys handling the finances? Do you guys pay like yourself like a salary, or do you pay everything like your house and your car from the store, or you have separate checking accounts, or how do you handle it?
Yeah, I mean everything just comes from the store. Honestly, I'm gonna be real. Like my dad, he doesn't actually pay me to run the store, so I'm doing it all for free just so we can just I guess build up some equity to do something else. Because actually, so we do still have a loan on that store we built. It's 1.15 right now. So we built everything for $3 million. I'm sorry if you can you hear the vacuum in the background or
No, no, you're good. You're good.
okay.
I don't hear you.
Yeah, so yeah, we built the store for 3 million. And for like the last 5 years, we've just been slowly breaking that down. Now it's down to 1.15. So yeah, I don't get any payment, and then everything we make, we just put right back into the stores. Everything's paid off. Our house is paid off. Cars are paid off. So we just try to live very like minimal. And I don't know how much my dad takes out of the business, to be honest. I don't really see that account. But we just try to like just put everything back just so we can just, pay off the store and then hopefully, worry about like I guess I mean I think that's kind of the issue as well, is just like the fact that we had to pay so much on that store still. My dad doesn't want to hire more employees because obviously we can just use that money and pay off the store if that makes sense.
Do you know how much is the payment on that loan?
Yeah, yeah, it's 10,000 a month, but we put down 20,000 just so we can pay it off quicker. So yeah, we just recently refinanced back in December. Prior to that, we were paying 17,000 a month, but now we got it, refinanced down to 10K. But we're still just going to try to pay 20 every month just to just pay it off quicker. Yeah.
At what interest rate?
I think my dad right now we have like 6.8 or 6.9, something like that. It's pretty good. I mean, before it was pretty high, like it was like 12%.
Yeah,
But
no,
we
no,
got it good.
yeah, 6% is definitely a good percentage. Yeah, I mean, I've spoken to a lot of business owners and even bigger businesses, and
Hmm.
many of them, if they're older folks, they seem to run everything through their store and pay. Let's say they go to McDonald's and they'll pay through the store, or they'll pay their house lights with the store, and they don't have like everything separate. And I just like to handle my business like if I was like a multi-million-dollar business, like a big business. Uh, we pay ourselves a salary every week, no matter if the store sells a lot or doesn't sell. We try to pay ourselves every week the same thing. Uh, we live from our paycheck. That's how we eat, and that's how I know if what car I can drive and what house I can live in based on my salary. And uh, we keep the store expenses very separate from our personal expenses. Very there's a very defined line.
Hmm.
And on the real estate business, it's another account. That one is also separate. And we just started a few months ago getting a little I guess a little salary or dividend. I don't know what you want to call it every month after years of investing. But we try to keep everything very separate, and I think that has helped us a lot to grow too. To grow, um, and being so involved in the business, you sometimes think that you're saving money, but you're letting other opportunities pass by.
Yeah, the opportunity cost, yeah, of other things,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, the opportunity cost, because you're so invested in who is he gonna show up to work, or if he's not gonna show up, I have to go open the store, and then I have to go deposit, and then I have to go this and I have to do that. And you're busy, so you think that you're being productive, but in reality, I mean, for me, at least for me, then this is what sometimes I tell my wife, I feel like I'm not being productive, and she said, "Whoa, I mean, we're running errands, we're doing this and that." Yeah, but it's not moving the needle forward of our actual legacy of our net worth. We're not pushing the needle forward. What do I mean by pushing the needle forward? Is sometimes even just watching a YouTube video of feeding your brain, looking at other properties, looking at other businesses. I'm gonna open another store. I'm gonna do this or that, or I'm gonna go buy an apartment complex, or I can buy this mobile home and lot, and I can flip it, and looking at other opportunities. Because being honest, I mean, with your degree, with my degree, and with our level of thinking, we wouldn't work in a convenience store if it wasn't our own business. I mean, we wouldn't work there even if as a manager, maybe they're going to pay you $18 an hour. You wouldn't work there. Uh, so if I wouldn't work there, it doesn't mean anything. There's nothing wrong with the job. It means that we're capable of more. Our time is more valuable. So that's the way that we got to think. I'm gonna grow this business, and honestly, I think that you haven't grown with the employees, not because you're doing anything wrong. I think it's just the mentality that maybe of your dad, right? Maybe your dad's mentality of he wants to keep a tight ship and as little employees as possible, and basically they're burning out. They're burning out. I don't think they mind the pay, because if they would mind the pay, they wouldn't have applied there and worked there. So I mean, it's not like if you fooled them into coming, they
Mhm.
already knew from the beginning. Hey, you know what? You're gonna make $12 an hour. You're gonna work this much. You're gonna be get paid every week or every 2 weeks, whatever. So they agreed. I don't think the issue is the pay. I think is the demand is too high, and they feel a lot of weight on their shoulders that and they know that they can depend on you guys because you guys are involved, but it's not the same thing as, oh, I have to talk to all these vendors, I have to clean everything. They're not gonna think, oh, Jack is gonna come and clean everything. I mean, they know that you're owner, so they have to do it. So it's a lot of weight on their shoulders for the pay. But even if you pay them another $3, I don't think that's a solution. It's definitely a lever that you can try pulling, but I don't think it's the right one. I think that the right thing would be uh, hiring more people, uh, making one person your go to, the person that's more knowledgeable, the person that can train others, making the go to. Um, Even if you don't give them a raise right now, but by telling them, you know what, I'm gonna hire you more help. It's basically a raise for them. Even if you're not giving them money, but you're bringing them help, they're gonna be happy, and maybe the sales will go up because the customers are not gonna go in and see a tired face or somebody with a bad attitude because they're tired, they're burned out. What are your hours of operation right now?
Yeah, so right now we're from 6 in the morning to 11 p.m.
6 to 11. Okay. So you said one guy works from 6 to 2.
6 to 2. The next one's from 2 to 11. So the 2 to 11 guy, he is like basically the manager. Like he's the one who's been with us for 4 years, and I mean he does have a lot of responsibilities, but we trust him a lot, and he's always. I mean he's been coming every single day. He hasn't like skipped a day for 4 years. He's a really hardworking guy. The morning guy though, I can tell he's burnt out. He's very frustrated. He's like slamming doors, slamming the fridge doors, slamming the cooler doors. Like I can definitely tell that he's fed up right now.
Are they Hispanics or?
So they're all Indians. We
Okay,
typically hire Indians because I guess that's what my dad feels most comfortable with. Like we talk the same language and everything, same culture. So we just feel more comfortable just hiring them, and we're able to talk to them in our language. But I mean, I don't mind hiring other people. I would like to. It's just that that's kind of also what we like. We hire people from word of mouth as well. So we hire from like either like my dad's friends. They also own gas stations. So we ask them, hey, do you guys have any additional people who need a job? They can just come to us. So I mean, they also have a network of Indians. So that's pretty much just how it is.
nice, nice. And the guy in the afternoon, is he
Mhm.
working every day too?
Every day, every
Every day.
day. Yeah,
Yeah.
every day. And then he just gets a little break on Sunday, I guess, but he still comes in on Sunday. He would just come in a little bit later, and we close a little bit earlier on Sunday. So we close at 10 as opposed to 11. That's pretty much his break, but he still comes in. So he's 7 days a week. I keep telling my dad, hey, I think that might be a little too much for the guy. We should probably, get somebody else as well, so he can just have a break.
Yeah. And I mean, he might need the money. That's why he's doing it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
He has a family in India that he's like sending the money back to. So that's why I understand like he's able to deal with a lot. Like I mean, he has a lot of willpower right now. But eventually even that can he can burn out too. So
how old are your two employees? How old are they?
they're both middle age. I mean, one of them I
Like
know
30s, 40s, or
40s. Yeah, they're both in their
40s?
40s, like 43,
Okay.
40. One of them's 43, one of them's 45. Both
Okay.
have kids, family, everything.
Okay. I mean, by the sounds of it, I mean, I think you have a good team. It's just that
They need more help.
they're yeah they're screaming for help, and
Mhm.
you guys are like
No, I agree.
yeah
I definitely agree.
yeah. I think they're screaming for help, and what I do, Jack, is I check my sales,
Mhm.
and by hour. I check my sales by hour, and I see like in the mornings every day it's for us it's slow. I don't know about
Yeah.
you guys, but for us it's slow, so we only have one person, and that one person does receive vendors, and but there's very little customers, so they can manage it. In the afternoons during the week, we only have one person in the front. We also have one in the carniceria in the meat market, but he's basically doing other tasks. But like in the front, what is the cashier? We only have one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which are our busy days. Only in the evenings we have two people in the front. Why? Because we have the check cashing and the money transfers, and the cashier, right? So in the weekends, in the afternoons, from 3 to 11 p.m., we have two people in the front and one person in the back. So that's the way we control, and I think it's a good way for you to for you to check what are your busy times based on sales. What are the busy times, and that way you can schedule. But for now, I think, I mean, don't go and hire 10 people. Take it a step at a time. Hire one person, and see how your two employees react. Um, Maybe it can be one person hire like mid shift, because right now you basically have it. One leaves at 2 and the other one comes in at 2. You have no overlap,
Yep.
so I try to always do like a 1 hour overlap. That way, the morning guy can restock and clean while the other one takes over. Because if you do like exact, then the evening guy is gonna complain. Hey, the morning guy didn't restock. He didn't mop. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. And the morning guy is gonna say, oh, because I had people. I had people.
That
So
happens, yeah.
just to avoid little comments like that, or to avoid friction between your team, because you don't want them to, I mean, to dislike each other, to hate each other. The 1 hour overlap or even half an hour overlap is good. That way, uh, the evening person comes in, takes over. The other person has time to restock, leave everything correct, and basically hand over the store.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good idea, and I think that's when the third person comes in, it can be a mid shift, and can also be the extra tire for the days off. That way you can schedule a day off for one employee, and that's when the new guy will jump in and cover the let's say Sundays. So we're gonna give off Sunday to your manager, right? To the evening guy. Sunday's off. The new guy, once he's trained, after a few weeks, he starts working on Sunday evenings. So you always need, even if you see your schedule, oh, these two guys can manage it. You always need one buffer room with one extra person. That way he can be the covering for the days off, or when somebody calls in and misses. You have that person that's gonna jump in. Um, What would you say uh, is your sales without the gas station, without the fuel?
Oh, okay, wait one sec. I can actually get the paper if you like. We can break it
Yeah,
down if you want. Sure. Let me go
please.
get it. One sec.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, I have the sales report. So we'll just go through this one.
Okay.
Total sales for, I mean, and this is going to be including the gas, but we'll like subtract it later. Total
Yes.
sales for one of our days was $15,019. And right here it says total non-fuel sales. So half, I mean, basically inside sales were $7,990.88. But then if we want to break it down even more, I mean, obviously, Lotto and Scratch, we don't really make anything of like off of, but
Yes.
we do sell a lot of Lotto at that store. So Lotto that day was $2,656, and then Scratch was 1,610. But I mean, everything outside of that is it comes to us. So yeah,
What would it be like 5,000 or 4,000?
that would probably be. Dang, I wish I had the sheet in front of me. It's like $5,000. Yeah, five
Like
thousand.
$5,000. Okay.
Yeah, 5,000. And I guess you can do 30% of that.
Yeah, 5,000. And that's a weekend or
That was a Sunday. Yeah, that was a Sunday.
Sunday. Okay.
So the
And
deli wasn't open that day. So yeah, Sunday.
okay, 5,000.
Mhm.
5,000. I mean, you guys have pretty good sales. 5,000. 5,000. And I'm thinking during the week, do you guys sell a little bit less, or you sell more on Sundays, or it
So Sunday is always going to be our slowest day because the deli we have isn't open. So that kind of brings down our sales. Because when people go to the deli, they also buy drinks, snacks, and yeah, overall Sundays have always been the slowest. But yeah, the weekends are a lot. Actually, we do a lot better on the weekdays. Sorry, on the weekdays.
okay?
Hmm.
So 5,000. So that means 5,000 times 30%. So you guys are profiting 1,500 per day. 1,500 per day. 1,500 per day times, let's say, 30 days. I mean, sales are gonna vary, right? But let's call it. You guys are netting, or your gross profit is 45,000 a month.
Right.
45,000 a month in gross profit, and then from there you deduct the
20 for like the loan, and then rest is the employees and obviously water bill, utilities. And then we also again we do have two tenants, so they pay 4,500 a month. The smoke shop 4,500, the dry cleaners 4,500. So that's pretty much what we're making each month. I mean that's a pretty good estimate actually.
yeah, the 45,000, and then you said 10,000 a month for the loan.
For a loan, yeah, it has to be minimum. Yeah, that's 10K, but we just pay down 20. And then yeah, we also make 4,500 each from our tenants. Yeah.
Okay, plus 9,000. So you're up to 44, and then the two employees. So I mean, you guys have a pretty good healthy margins. Yeah, the sales are there, and they support the the additional the
Employees.
additional staff. The expense is not going to be much compared to what you guys are going to gain. Uh, just having the peace of mind and knowing that you actually own a business, and not a like a side job or another job, that you actually own a business that operates on itself by itself. Of course, they're gonna escalate things. They're gonna bring up to you, hey, a person came in and complained about this, and it's your business. Of course, you're gonna be on top of it, but you're not gonna have to be worrying about who's gonna go open, or if somebody gets sick, or that they're mad, and they're treating your customers incorrectly. Uh, so how are you managing the lottery right now? You mentioned about the $20 that that they're basically taking. How are you guys overseeing or controlling that or trying to control that?
Yeah, like we actually have a service. It's $500 a month. It's like somebody watches the surveillance cameras. I don't know if you heard of that before. Like there's just 24/7 surveillance. Yeah, so
No.
there's like a company where like they'll come out, they'll like install Nest cameras, around your register, and then there will be like a like offshore team, basically maybe like in Pakistan or India, and they're just watching over your cameras. If they see anything suspicious, they will like message us in a WhatsApp group, like, hey, like this employee's taking $20, or they put money in their pocket, stuff like that. We get the messages, but like my dad's like, look, man, like she opens the store on time, like she doesn't steal any other money, like we'll just eat the loss. But it's like to me, I'm like, come on, like still $20 is $20. I get where he's coming from, just because in that business, it's like check cashing again, we have like tens of thousands of dollars laying around. Um, she doesn't touch that, but she will just play $20 a lottery. We just let it happen, honestly.
But the lottery, the inventory, is it in like in the POS system or no?
Oh no, no. So that one is not. That one, that one's a very old POS system. At the new store we have Gilbarco. At the other one, it's like I don't even know what it is. Like he does the tracking himself on a piece of paper. Like it's that old.
Okay.
It's yeah, it's
Yeah.
bad.
Because the way we've been controlling that issue in our store is that we put other barcodes into the system, and
Do you have
they,
Lotto Shield or
I mean, we have we just have a like a POS system where we charge our customers.
Mhm.
It's a PC America. We use
Okay.
PC America, and then in that system we can input the inventory of the scratch tickets into the system, and that way we put, this packet has 50 tickets, and that's the way we've been doing it. But the way I'm gonna transition now is that I'm just gonna do two buttons in the computer. One is payout and one is pay in for the lottery.
Yeah, we have that as well for the new store. We have that paid out, paid in, and then we have another one for expenses too, just in case we pay cash to a vendor. So yeah, we
Okay,
do that as
yes.
well. Yeah.
And with the lottery, that's where your manager comes in. He needs to write down, at the start of the shift, what number for each of the lottery tickets, what number he gave it to him, and what number he's receiving it. And then, with the Z report, it should tell you how much lotto was paid out or how much scratch tickets were sold. So, uh, I mean, I can understand where your dad's coming from, because one man told me one day, when I was younger, he told me the business that doesn't give your employees to steal a little bit is not a business. So it's like, I mean, McDonald's and Walmart. I mean, they know that somebody's stealing every day, but just we just gotta try to keep under control, right? Under
Mhm.
control, and having them know that, it's written down, and they actually know that it's
Yeah, we
missing.
know. I send her videos of her stealing sometimes just for fun, and she's like, oh. But
Wow, how long has
yeah.
she been with you guys?
So like we hired her before my dad got his surgery. So we hired her late January. She's been there since then, and she's actually pretty good. Like she will let me know, like, hey, we're low on this stuff, so can you go get this or that? She's on top of things. It's just she has a bad habit of, I guess, playing lottery. That's really it. But I
Yeah,
mean, look, we've only had her for 3 months. We don't know how much. Like we just recently found out she's been like doing this lottery thing like 2 weeks ago. So we don't know if she's been doing it since like February.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it
I
adds
mean,
up.
yeah, I understand completely. I mean, and that's the hard part when you're running a very tight ship, that you cannot, uh, basically, you cannot terminate them, because you need them more than they need you. I mean,
Exactly.
and if you had like a team of 5, 6 employees, I mean, you would have cut her, and just hire somebody else, and that's where building a team comes in. But I think, most importantly, Jack, I think it would be, for you to have a good talk with your dad, and I think
Sure.
you should do an Excel. This is what I would do if I was in your shoes. I would do an Excel of how much we're selling, and these are expenses that, and uh, if we hire another employee, this is how it's gonna affect our money. Present it to him everything, and tell him do the schedule already. This is gonna be the schedule. This is gonna our manager is gonna have his day off on Sundays or Saturdays or whatever. Uh, and this is my plan, and that's how I would present it to him. That's how I would sell it to him. That way, he can understand what you're seeing and what I'm seeing, because he's seeing something different. I mean, we're both looking at the same thing, and we have different perceptions. So that's how I would sell it to him. And I mean, the perfect example is now that unfortunately he got sick, and he had the you said he had an operation.
Yeah, he had heart surgery. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal. I mean, that tells us that we're not forever, right? I mean, we're not here forever, and we got to build a system that's gonna be here forever, and no matter if you're here or he's here, it's gonna continue operating, and that way he can invest somewhere else. Like I don't know if you saw in the videos. I do a lot of real estate too, and I go and buy properties and flip them and rehab them and
Yeah, I used to work with a guy like a realtor, or I mean, actually, he's a real estate investor. He has like over $100 million worth of property in Sacramento. So I used to
wow.
do YouTube. I used to be like a video editor, and basically he would fly me out to Sacramento, and I would make videos for him. But I had to stop doing that just because I had to start focusing on the business. But that is one of my passions too. Like I definitely want to get into like Section 8, or just get into real estate in general, like and anything. But again, we just had to just tackle this little obstacle first. And I mean, I have the connections. Like, I definitely want to get into real estate.
Yeah. I don't know if you have any other questions, Jack. But I mean, I encourage you, man. I encourage you to grow your team.
Yep.
Start treating it as a business. Grow your team, and follow your passion, man. If you love real estate, I can guarantee you, man. Real estate is in reality, what's gonna make you wealthy is real estate, not the gas station, not my store. It's the real estate. It's by you holding the real estate there, the gas station. By holding it, the value's gonna go up, and of course the cash flow is good and everything. But the real estate is where the money's at, and I just encourage you to follow your passions, because that's where you're gonna shine more. Where you're passionate about,
Hmm.
where you don't feel drained. What do you love to do? Uh, I don't know if there's other things or suggestions or questions that you might have.
Yeah. I guess this is what we'll do. Maybe I'll book another call like next month, and then I'll give you an update on how the stores are running. But no, I'll definitely take all your advice. I'm actually in the process of hiring like one employee right now. So here's what I'll do. Like 6 to 11, I want one employee. The other one, the main guy, 11 to 8 or 11 to 7. And then I'll have the other employee for like part-time, at night. He can close out. So I'm gonna try that. We're gonna implement that probably next week. We have a new employee coming in. And yeah, I'll give you an update next month. And yeah, we'll definitely talk again and see, if we're doing good, hopefully. Because right now I'm stressed, but maybe next month will be better.
Yes, yes, definitely. And whenever you're in town in Laredo, man, hit me up, or I'll hit you up if I go to
Yeah, for sure.
Houston. We,
Yeah,
we
visit
go
the gas
to
station.
yeah we go to Harwin Drive to buy stuff there in
Harlan.
Houston.
Oh, okay, okay. That's
Yes.
like your downtown, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh
Okay,
well,
okay,
in,
yeah.
in your area, right in Houston.
So yeah, I mean, we have one gas station in Sheldon, Texas, which is like near Beaumont, and then one's in Cypress. So like that's kind of where we're based out of. But
Okay.
I think I've heard of Harlan before. We've been there a few times in that
Yeah, I
area.
think it's downtown Houston, and
Yeah,
that's where we go buy electronics and random stuff for the store. But yeah, yeah. Let me know if you want. Send me right now. I'll send you my email
okay,
through the LinkedIn, and send me if you can the breakdown of the hourly for a week.
okay.
That way, I can look at it and maybe guide you on what are the areas where you should concentrate with two people.
Sure. Like the hourly sales, or what do you mean by
Yeah,
hourly?
hourly
Hourly
sales.
sales? Okay, cool. Yeah, I got you. I'll definitely do that.
Yeah. Sounds good, Jack. Thanks for booking the call, man. And I do appreciate you meeting with you, and we'll keep in touch.
For sure. Alrighty. See you.
God bless you, brother.
See you.